Good Sunday afternoon. Thank you all for being here. We came to you today early to give some advance warning to residents, to give an idea of what you can expect over the next couple of days when it comes to severe weather. So we have some key people here that'll be able to answer some questions as we give you some updates, but I will start off with the mayor.
Try it this way. Good afternoon. As we shared with you towards the end of that last week, we said that we would come to you early and often as we prepare for severe weather. And so over the next few days, we're asking that all Jackson residents be weather aware. Monday through Wednesday morning, there's the potential of freezing rain, a wintry mix. And so we know that this has an effect on the condition of our roads, of other elements of our infrastructure. And so we want our residents to have all of the information necessary to contend with this severe weather. With that, I'm going to ask if Mr. Michael Hill with the National Weather Service would come forward and share some details about what we are expecting over the next few days. We're going to try to figure out this microphone situation before you have to. All right.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Hill with the National Weather Service. Jackson can expect some dangerously cold temperatures over the next several days. That is what we're very, very confident in. So we can expect lows, especially on Wednesday morning, down to around 10 degrees. And then on Tuesday morning, we expect lows again in that 15 to 10 degree range. Okay?
You mean Monday morning? Starting off Monday morning?
Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So tomorrow morning, we're expecting lows around freezing 25 degrees, okay? We're supposedly to come up to roughly right around freezing, maybe just a little bit above freezing tomorrow. So we should be above freezing tomorrow. And as that rain and wintry mix starts to fall, temperatures are gonna come down throughout the afternoon and evening hours, and we should see that rain switch over to sleet and freezing rain, especially on Monday afternoon through Monday evening. So just to back up a little bit, the freezing temperatures are already across the Delta. Right now in Greenville, it's 27 degrees, so the cold air is not far away. We expect once we're gonna go below freezing again tonight. Now, we should remain slightly above freezing on Monday, but there is a possibility that even on Monday, we won't get above freezing, okay? That's a possibility depending on how quickly the cold air moves in and how quickly the clouds move in. So there is a possibility that we will be below freezing starting tomorrow morning through Wednesday afternoon. So that'll be 24 to 48 hours of consecutive hours of freezing. So that's what we are very, very confident in, is the cold weather. So we want everybody to prepare now, protect your pipes, wrap your pipes, prepare your infrastructure, make sure you're safe, your people are safe, call your elderly counterparts, call your relatives, make sure that they're set up for what they need. Check on your plants and your pets. Bring those guys inside as well. So that's what we're talking about for the temperatures. Wind chills will be below zero. That's the feels like temperature. So on Tuesday night into Wednesday, we can expect wind chill temperatures around 0 to -5. So we will have that to deal with as well. As far as the icing is concerned, we're confident that we will see some icing across Jackson. We can expect up to 1/10 of an inch of ice. That whether that be freezing rain or sleet, it still remains to be seen. If we get more sleet, we'll still have some road conditions, but the power outage issues may not be as prominent. However, if we do get freezing rain and we get that freezing rain of 1/10 inch or more, there's even a possibility that we get more than 1/10 of an inch.
dangerous bridge conditions, the possibility of downed trees, and the possibility of power outages. For more on how we are preparing for the potential of these challenges, I'm going to ask Mr. Robert Lee of our Public Works Department to come forward.
Good afternoon. So with the weather forecast, we're looking at either freezing rain or sleet, and we need to be probably closer to the event time to be able to pin that down. Our public works crews are working to prepare for their winter operations, which is trying to keep our major bridges de-iced as much as possible. Like most southern cities, most are not set up for major winter operations, and I think we're all aware of that. So the road and travel conditions are looking to be treacherous Monday and for sure on Tuesday. Whatever falls Monday night and Monday afternoon will not have Monday and Tuesday. Travel, I'd recommend not traveling Monday and Tuesday with ice on the road. With the thaw coming Wednesday, that'll help clear things up. But if you do have to travel, slow down a ton, not 5 or 10 miles an hour, but driving at a crawl. Brake early and brake lightly. Don't wait till you're up on that red light and then hit the brakes. You're going to slide right through. Brake way early and brake lightly to gently slow down, so that way you have some traction as you come to that red light or stop sign. Hills, don't. If you could try to go up a hill, you're coming back down, backwards, out of control. If you try to go down a hill, who knows where you're going to land when you go, but you won't have any traction if you're on an icy hill, so don't do that. But at the end of the day, take measures now to where you don't have to travel Monday or Tuesday. That way, both our crews in the city as well as other crews, including MDOT, can work to keep the roads and try to de-ice them as much as possible, given the situation. But with that ice accumulation, whether it's freezing rain or sleet, I would not advise any travel on Monday or Tuesday unless it's absolutely necessary. And that's pretty much it on the roads.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lee, and thank you to our Public Works team that will be doing all that they can to mitigate the challenges that we will see. But as he said, we're best advised to stay off of the roads. Remember, tomorrow, Monday, is a holiday, and so that is a great opportunity to stay home. It's Martin Luther King Day, so starting tomorrow, stay home. If there's an opportunity today to go and get the items that you need in order to endure the challenges, to endure the possibility of roads that may be impassable for some time, to endure the possibility of power outages, you can go get those non-perishable items today so that you don't have to attempt to pass troubled roads and troubled bridges tomorrow. So I'm grateful for our Public Works team and their hard work that they will be doing on behalf of the residents. As a reminder, we shared with you at our last press conference that because of these dangerous conditions, we were opening up an emergency shelter. That shelter will be at Shepherd's Gym. It will be open tomorrow at 11 a.m. Once again, that's Shepherd's Gym, and it will be open up tomorrow at 11 a.m. That is at 1355 Hattiesburg Street. I want to thank our partners, our community partners that have helped to sponsor this emergency shelter. That's the Red Cross of Mississippi, that's Shower Power, and that's also the People's Advocacy Institute that have all worked in collaboration to provide food and cots for those that will be staying there. As we heard, the possibility of down power lines or outages exist, and so there may be individuals who are unhoused that need to stay at that particular shelter. There may be individuals who have a home, but because of outages, because of the potential of loss of gas and the inability to heat their own homes, may need to seek shelter with us. And so that will be the first location. If necessary, if we reach capacity, then we do have a contingency for other locations. But right now, lastly, let me say this one more time, that Shepherd's Gym, which is at 1355 Hattiesburg Street. I'd like to ask if Chief Wade will come forward now to share what the preparations of the Jackson Police Department are at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to say that we're going to pray for the best, but we're going to plan for the worst as we move forward. JPD will be accessible and available during this event. I have informed my team to switch to 12-hour shifts starting at 6 a.m. in the morning. Our administrative team, our detectives will be moved to a patrol function for the next 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. We will be providing security at the city identified shelter, interior and exterior. To echo what has already been stated, if you have no reason to be on the road Monday and Tuesday, please stay at home. With these conditions that we're expecting, the roads are not going to be safe. And once you start hydroplaning, you're going to put yourself in danger and other motorists on the road. So please stay at home. We again will be working throughout this event to make sure that our citizens are safe here in the city of Jackson. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I just want to remind our residents, when we have the benefit of a holiday, when we're able to I don't know why I'm having a difficult time talking today. When we're able to seek shelter because of dangerous weather, the issues of public safety do not stop. And so the men and women of the Jackson Police Department are still going out each and every day to ensure that our residents are safe, to deal with the additional challenges that are brought on by severe weather. So we're grateful for them, and we're also grateful for our county partners. Sheriff Jones, I'd like to ask if you'll come forward and talk about the preparations of the Sheriff's Department.
Thank you, sir. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. To echo what Chief Wade said as well, we also, we're praying for all of our citizens of Hinds County, the city of Jackson, as we prepare to face these challenging days that will be coming this week. The Hinds County Sheriff's Office will be assisting the city of Jackson, and we will be working county-wide. We have additional resources and manpower well, because of course you cannot negotiate all the times what the icy conditions can and will be on your major thoroughfares throughout the city of Jackson and Hinds County as well. We will also be in contact with Hinds County EOC regarding our weather updates and things and updates that they may have available county-wide as well. It's very important for everyone to make sure that you pay attention to your local news, your alerts, whether it's by social media, text messages, or whatever your communication platform may be. So everyone will be well aware of the challenges that we do face in these next few days as well. But again, the Hinds County Sheriff's Office look forward to assisting with all of the efforts that will take place in the next few days, and we will be available for calls for service. And one thing that I will say to make sure that our citizens know that we also have a county-wide non-emergency telephone number, and that number is 601-352-1521. You can also contact that number countywide, and you will also have access to Hinds County EOC to report any down trees or any other type of down power lines. Well, I guess you may need to contact Energy for that, but majorly is for your down trees and things that may block the roadways as well. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Once again, we thank the sheriff and the men and women of the Hinds County Sheriff's Department for their partnership each and every day, and most especially in these times of severe weather. I want to be clear, again, please do not get on the roads if you do not have to. We are asking that you take the time today to take heed to a few tips. One, we're asking that you stock up on non-perishable items, that you bring your faucets to a slow and steady drip, plan for outages. What we mean by plan for outages is stock up on blankets and flashlights so that you can stay warm and that you're able to walk around your home with flashlights, not candles. Flashlights are a more safe alternative to that. Bring plants and pets inside, as they are in danger through the severely cold temperatures, and check on the elderly. This is the spirit of being a Jacksonian. So we're asking that, as you know that you have elderly neighbors that do not have the support, or maybe loved ones in the area, that you take the lead and you check on the elderly, whether it's your own family or neighbors and friends that you know. We're grateful again to the sheriff, to the chief, to our National Weather Service, to Public Works, to the Public Works Department, for all of the efforts that y'all are making in preparation for the storm. Sheriff, I do want to say that when we have these press conferences, it's not only for the benefit of our Jackson residents. We know that there are neighboring communities that don't have the benefit, or may not be as large and don't have press conferences. These tips are for everyone that will experience this weather within this vicinity. So when we say, stock up on non-perishable items, when we tell you to prepare for outages, we're saying that to anyone who may be affected by this weather, and that's in the greater Jackson area. With that, if you have any questions, we're prepared to take them.
Mr. Lee, I just had a couple of questions about specific preparation plans. What specific things are being done to make sure that these bridges are not too slick, anything like that?
So we do have salt that's available, and we also do spread sand on them to try to provide additional traction. Key's going to be what ends up falling on the bridges, whether it's water that freezes or whether it's sleet. And whether it's water that freezes, freezing rain, or whether it's sleet, will help us and guide us in how we're able to treat that. Because if it turns into a hockey rink, treating that's one way. If it's just a bunch of sleet pellets, that's actually a little more manageable. I'd rather have the sleet, all sleet, than freezing rain, quite honestly. I don't think we'll be that lucky, though, in this storm.
If I can add to that. First and foremost, I want our residents to know that the efforts of Public Works is to mitigate the challenge. It is still best that you do not travel on the roads. Sometimes we look at other communities, some of our neighbors to the north, and we look at the fact that they travel through these conditions on a frequent basis. There are a few things to consider. First and foremost, sometimes the composition of the materials that we pave our roads with is not the same as the roads that they pave. Secondly, they are stocked up on things like salt and other tools to mitigate the challenge of bad weather, which we simply do not have in the South. So that explains when people say, well, they laugh that cities close in the South when we have weather conditions like this. It's an entirely foreign thing to us as with respect to how frequently we deal with this and how budgets are made, how streets are paved, how conditions are dealt with on a regular and routine basis. And so no matter whether you've dealt with challenging weather living in a previous location, this still is not a safe place to travel on the roads when we have sleet and ice that are on our roads. Any other questions?
I did have another one about the shelter. You said it opens at 11, but you never said, do people need to leave at a certain time? How long will it be open for?
It will be open until there's no longer a need for people to be housed there. There's the potential that even as temperatures warm up, there may be damage to an area and they can't return home. And so we're opening this service until it is no longer necessary for it to be open.
We know that the water pipes in Jackson are already bad as it is. Could this worsen the system? As we know, we've made achievements already. Could this worsen the system? We see more bursts around the city?
Yeah, we still contend with a vulnerable water system, a water distribution system. While there is reason for optimism for the future because of the resources that we've been able to secure in order to build a more reliable, dependable, and resilient water system, that does not happen overnight. And so we can't pledge to our residents that the potential of breaks does not exist. There will be a lot of work over the next few years, but as we are expecting these temperatures over the next few days, then we should brace for the possibility of challenges in our distribution system as well.
I have one more question for Mr. Lee. I was at Tractor Supply today trying to get stuff to cover my own pipes. And it's all out. Everybody around the metro has pretty much gotten prepared. Is there something else people can do to cover their pipes to protect their home ahead of this one?
It depends on your home. If you're on a conventional foundation or a mobile home or something like that, anything that can help insulate it whether it's old T-shirts, towels, things like that. Key thing is you want to try to insulate any exposed water pipes that are above ground and try to get those covered as best as possible. Secondly, drip your water line, whether you've got exposed lines or not. Drip your water line to make sure that you have a constant flow, but not full blast flow, but a flow of water through there. As long as that water is moving, it doesn't sit still and then freezes. And then the other option is also, in addition to that, if you've got cabinet doors, open those up in your house to make sure you get any heat you've got because you're trying to stay warm, gets under your sink, gets around your toilet, gets under your kitchen sink. Try to provide so that is good news to hear.
I do want to add another tip for our residents. We're asking that you also charge your devices. Make sure that you keep your devices charged for the potential of power outages and the need to have your devices. And I also ask that you reserve 911 for emergency purposes only. When we have extreme weather conditions, the potential for our 911 communications to be overwhelmed exists, and so we want to reserve those lines for emergency purposes only.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Are you guys nervous or, more so prepared for, potential fires? Because there are a lot of homeless people, they might wind up in an abandoned building or an abandoned home and they might want to start a fire, so.
I would say that we're prepared. We don't know the things that we don't know, but we stand prepared to be ready for the reality that any of these things could exist. And while they're not represented at this press conference today, our fire department is always on the ready to deal with these challenges. They know that as temperatures get colder, that usually their need to respond to issues is increased. And so they will be ready and prepared to deal with these challenges. Now, we ask people to use good judgment. And so just as we're asking residents in their home to stock up on perishable items, we're asking them to get blankets and flashlights. We're also opening up these shelters so that we don't have to have a significant number of unhoused people seeking shelter in locations that are unprepared to protect them. And so that's why we're asking that you go to 1355 Hattiesburg Street, Shepherd's Gym, 1355 Hattiesburg Street, Shepherd's Gym. And we're telling you that we've also created a contingency plan that if that location becomes filled with individuals, we'll open up some other locations for people. And so that's why we're working with organizations like Shower Power that has a strong relationship with our unhoused population. They provide not only showers, but food and clothing to them every day of the year. And so that is why we identified partners that are not foreign to the population, not foreign to responding to these types of challenges.
And just for the record, it was supposed to be like a birthday bash for MLK on the 15th in front of City Hall. Is that canceled?
We will not be having any events. We're going to heed the advice that we're giving you. Now, if you see us driving or traveling, it's only in an effort to continue to communicate with you because we understand our position and the fact that we may have critical information. So we look to keep you informed. Whether that will be by another press conference or through social media, stay tuned to our social media pages. Stay tuned to the city website. We will list many of the tips that we've given you today on those platforms. And as things change, we will seek to keep you informed. All right. I will end by saying, go Detroit Lions. Thank you very much.